Hey, good morning guys. Today we are doing something different. I'm excited about it. He's so excited about it, but he's coming along for the ride because he knows I'm excited about it. So
I do like walking through the woods. We're gonna walk through the woods with a professional woods walker.
Yeah, we're going on a foraging class. There's a guy that comes, I think, from South Mississippi, Joseph Hosey. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. We'll find out when we get there. But he's doing a class probably about 25 minutes from where we live, and it's going to teach us how to identify some of the native plants and their uses and medicinal uses. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really fascinated by medicinal plants and native plants and being able to identify things that are available to us in our backyard. So because before all of the medicinal pharmaceutical companies took over medicine, people used what was in their backyard. So we've gotten away from those practices. So I think it's really cool to learn what we can use in our backyard for food, for medicine, for survival. So I'm excited. I hope we learn a lot. And we're going to take a break today and go walk in the woods with a bunch of people we don't know and try to figure out what the plants are and what we can use them for.
Also would have been a good day to go fishing.
Well, we'll have time to go fishing. He's keeping Mama happy today. Yeah, that's a smart move on his part. We'll go fishing. We'll go fishing today, maybe tomorrow. So anyway, so we are excited to see what we learn, and we will drop a link down in the video of how you can find this guy. He's got a shop where you can buy things from him. He's going to teach us some things that hopefully will be able to identify some plants in our backyard to be able to use them. So y'all come along and join us for this morning walk in the woods with foraging.
Let's go.
So this tree actually gets on Patrick's nerves because it grows up with all this underbrush, and he likes to keep it clean. But we walked out here after our workshop today, and we identified 4 different plants just around this one tree that can be used. So this is the beautyberry. We identified this today, and it can be used as insecticide. You can take the leaves and rub them on your skin. You can also make tinctures with it to use for insecticide. And it's really easy to identify this time of year, because, let me break off one of these branches. It's got these little purple beauty berries. You can make syrup out of this, you can make jelly out of this. I did a video on how to make jelly out of beauty berries, and we'll drop a link down below so you can check that out. But there are lots of beauty berry plants around this tree and all around our property. All right, so Joseph today, when he was teaching us about beauty berry, he taught us that a squirrel taught him how to eat these berries. He's a forester, so he spends a lot of time in the woods. And one day he was walking around, and one of these little branches of beauty berries fell down in front of him, and he looked up and there was a squirrel running around. So you can actually take these and you can nibble on them. I mean,
like shish kebab.
Yeah. I mean, they taste healthy. They don't taste bad. They don't taste good, but I did do a video on how to make jelly, so we'll drop a link down below of that.
Ate it. But anyway, this is beautyberry. If you're in the southeast, this stuff is rampant all around. It's really easy to identify right now because of the berry, so y'all go check it out and see if you have some on your property so you can identify it year-round. Very easy to identify. And the second tree that we have around this sweet gum tree is a sassafras tree. We've got multiple sassafras trees. You can use the leaves to thicken your gumbo to make filet. You can also use some of the bark when it gets bigger. I wouldn't mess with these trees. The bark's not mature enough and they're not big enough to be able to harvest some of the bark, but you can use some of the bark to make sassafras tea. It's a very cooling tea. But that's a really cool
cool plant. They're all scattered all around here. We probably need to, when the leaves fall off of them, we need to dig them up and see if we can transplant them, because they're not going to do well under the understory of this sweet gum tree. One of the cool things Joseph taught us today about the sassafras tree is the leaves look different. So I'm going to put my little beauty berry down. So all of these leaves are sassafras leaves. Is that a spider web? Our granddog. Nala, be quiet. She hears squirrels dropping hickory nuts. So, but one of the things Joseph taught us today about the sassafras tree is that the leaves look different. I've always thought this was the identifying leaf to a sassafras tree, but you can also have mitten-shaped leaves, and you can also have those kind of leaves. What do we call those?
Those he was calling a regular leaf. The other one was a dinosaur foot, and then the mitten.
Okay, that's a dinosaur foot, and that's a mitten. Let's walk around, and I'm going to show you some poke salad. Poke salad's all around here too, but let me show you poke salad. This is poke salad. You can tell by the look of the berries, and you can also tell by the purple stems. And if you've listened to old timers or know anything about Southern old time cuisine, poke salad used to be a staple in the past. Right now is not the best time to harvest these leaves because they're old and tough. The best time to harvest these leaves are in the spring when they're fresh and they're green. You don't want to eat these leaves without boiling them because they have some toxins in them. And you need to put the leaves in some water, boil them down, pour the water off, and you need to do that 3 times. So you can actually use these leaves. Then you can cook them like you do spinach, collards, or any other pot greens. But so that's one thing that we can eat right here around the tree. These are some wild, what is this?
There was one lady there, that's muscadine.
Wild muscadine?
There was one lady there that only boiled it once.
I know, she was being risky, huh?
Yeah, she was raising eyebrows, but
yeah,
to each his own.
Yeah, and you don't really need to mess with the berries. You don't need to eat the berries, and you probably could. You could eat these poke salad leaves. They're just more mature and they're gonna be more tough. And you can tell they're old. They've got some age to them, so. But you could gather them, you could cook them and boil them down, pour the water off, do that a few times, and then you could eat these. So the cool thing about all of this around this one tree is there are 4 different things that we can use to either eat, make jelly with, make syrup with, season our food with, cook with, and then make a salad, make a poke salad. And we found something else around this tree that we didn't know was here until we walked out here. Houdina, our escape chicken, has decided to use this as her nesting box. Now, we have no idea how long those eggs have been there. They're not going to hatch because she hasn't been laying on them. But that explains why the eggs are down in the box.
Well, just one more thing that we can eat around that
Baby.
tree.
What is that? What is that moving in there? Oh, that's a bug. Huh. Do what?
One more thing we can eat around that tree.
I have a feeling those eggs are going to be rotten.
Yeah, but we could do something with those. Mark a couple of them and you should probably keep laying.
Oh, yeah.
Then a short trip to the kitchen.
Yep.
As opposed to a long trip.
So if y'all get a chance to check out Joseph and Nikki's workshop, we highly recommend it. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there was excellent teachers, both of them. Both of them very knowledgeable, easy to listen to.
Yep.
And, you know, sometimes you can just tell when people know what they're talking about and or just reciting, you know, things. I hope that's never been felt from watching us. But they were good teachers. And a bonus from doing stuff like this that we tend to forget until we get there is being around like-minded people, you know, that share the same interest. And a lot of them had their own experiences that they would share. And, it was a small group. I don't know if it was more than 16 people there.
Yeah, it's about 20, 25.
Oh, okay. So maybe there's a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
But it was nice hearing what some other people had learned in classes. That it was just the sharing of information was neat.
But I think there's a revival of the herbal medicine and foraging, or maybe it's just that we're new to it, and we're wanting to learn more about it.
Yeah, they were talking about how the Indians, how much more, of course, the Indians utilized this stuff than any of us would now, but also how different their gut was than ours, how much more they could tolerate
Yeah.
to this stuff than we could, which, I mean, I believe that, you know.
Yep.
That's not going to last long.
Yep. Oop. The sun's back behind me. And one cool thing that Joseph said too is he likes to use the plants when the Indians would use the plants. You know, that they know when it was the best to be used for food. They know when it was the best to be used for medicine. Learning from your ancestors that already know it. You know, why reinvent the wheel when somebody else already knows how to use it? So he follows a lot of what they used it for and how they used it.
Right.
That sun is really going down back there.
Oh, you just
Sorry, didn't mean to blind you there.
blinded everybody. But anyway, if y'all get a chance to see one of their, or go to one of their courses, it's definitely worth it. She actually started a, what do you call that little book?
Herbal book?
Maybe an herbal book, I guess is what
Yeah.
it's called, but where she was pulling off leaves of
Oh,
the
yeah.
plants, and then they'll be pressed in there, and she'll have these as a reference. So it also looks real cool, you know.
Yeah. They've got a good, cool book where you can make notes while you're in the workshop. You can put the leaves down in there and dry them for later identification. Now, we are not herbalists. We do not recommend you going walking through your yard and identifying, eating, or using things based on what we're teaching you. We're trying to inspire you to learn more. Get out and check out some of the workshops that are available to you. There are resources out there, hopefully close to you, that you can tap into.
Yeah, it wasn't terribly excited in the beginning about going, but I did enjoy it.
He wanted to go fishing.
I did.
I'm gonna have to go fishing tomorrow. And I've got some cool herbal books, medicinal uses for different plants and herbs, and I'll drop a description down. I'll drop them down in the description so you can check them out. Some of them are really easy to read and full of good information. So we got grand dogs at our feet. We got kitty cats at our feet. Grand dogs wanting us to throw the ball. So
Yeah, we're fixing to go get another few things done. So I appreciate y'all joining. I always appreciate you watching. If you think about it, hit that like button so that you'll be informed of the next time that maybe we go into class or something. And we will see y'all on the next one.
see ya.
Bye.